All right, hey Brickworld family, welcome to another episode of Think Outside the Blocks. I am your host, Mark Larson, and this is our co-host Ben Hauger. You know him, you love him. It's Z Cerberus on many online platforms. Say hello, Ben. How's your week going?
Oh, it's been an unusual week with the 4th of July in the middle there.
Yeah, I still don't know exactly what day it is. It's, that
It's
threw
live
me
stream
off.
time, so it must be Sunday, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. That gives us that's the only indicator I had of what day of the week it was. I mean, I kept thinking we were one day later because we had two Sundays. It was rather odd. Now that I've got my handle on my title cards, this is Blocks, where Ben and I talk about thinking outside of what might be perceived as a rigid medium in the Lego brick, and then of course also help you encourage you to think outside of your mental blocks as well. So, did you build anything new this week, Ben?
I don't have anything new because of the 4th of July. It's been a zany week, zooming back and forth to vacation spots. However, um, you know, our immediate theme for me right now is going to be supersize my mech.
Okay.
So because of that, I do have a mech that was shown in the Lost tapes. You may remember
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember the Lost
Um,
Tapes very well. Look at this. We had people making comments during the preview. Art Claxton is here, of course. Uh, Rob came up to Chicago for the first time, uh, his first time leaving the South, actually, and came to Brickworld for the first time as well. He's a frequent watcher of our live stream. Ben looks like he got a haircut this week.
I did, yeah. I was the hockey hair was getting a little intense. So yeah, the hockey hair is gone, and my wife is excited. Can no longer blame the Brickworld rush
Yeah,
for not getting one. So yes, I do. I don't have as svelte a look as your
my
getting ready to go full hawk again.
Yeah, yeah. I need
Um,
to. I was gonna like shave and like spike this up and do the wet look thing and put on an appropriate shirt where you couldn't like see my armpit hair. Like, but I'm building something new, so that's all there was really time for.
wow,
Um, we've got Dave's Brick Houses here as well. I'm sure your buddy from Chicago. Hopefully, you guys got to talk about your Gudemine computer there in
nice.
Chicago. Got to meet him. And this looks like someone's joining us here for the first time. I think that's the same gentleman here. His name is Rage Quit Gaming. Is He said tension was palpable as we were doing the countdown, but it's his first time here. So welcome, Rage Quit Gaming. Thanks for being here this week. All right, Ben. So we'd like to start with you then.
Sure.
All right.
My neck is a headless, but I can get it on
Okay.
while you're switching over to me.
All right. Perfect. And I didn't prepare myself well enough to have my sponsors up, but I can pull up a couple. I'll go ahead and take you out in order to do that. Sorry. Look at us prepared. I built something, okay?
Oh,
So give me a second. You guys know these bricks. He's been helping us out a lot. You can check him out on TikTok. I'll bring up the screen right here. This is him. Check him out. Uh, he's got a lot of great stuff. He does some whatnot auctions. He's got a prolific brickling store. And of course, Superhawk usually join us as well. You can find them on the same platform at Superhawk Bricks. Look at this. I'll even show you how to spell it correctly. Superhawk Bricks. Um, Another great supporter of the show. If you guys didn't know, Brickworld is actually on Discord. We now have a Discord server as well. And we are trying to get things going throughout the year. If you want to keep the Brickworld vibe going and work with people and talk to people that you met, meet new people, maybe collaborate together, join us on Discord. The link is in the description of this video. That link only lasts for 1 week, so if you're watching this after the 18th, then you are out of luck. 9 plus 7 is what? If you're watching after the 16th, actually 18th as well. If you're watching after the 16th or the 18th, you're out of luck because that link will only work for 1 week. If you're liking what you're seeing, what's not to like about it, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. We'd like as many subscribers as we can get. It looks like Jesse's Bricks Galaxy is also here. Hey Jesse, how are you? And everyone's just kind of having a nice little chat in the chat, which is great. You guys get to know each other. Hopefully join us on Discord and talk some more. Are you ready there, Ben?
I am ready to go with my Super Size Me mech.
Nice.
Here we go. Yeah, we can see him up here on the screen here.
That should
So we
not be
know,
a spider mech.
yes, my not a spider because he's only got 6 legs. He's arachnid, but that's of course far more than this guy we showed a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago before our what I thought was very exciting episode of Lego Crimes.
I like that as well.
Um,
That was great. And hopefully we'll find enough crimes to be able to do that again. And speak of the devil, Superhawk Bricks is here. Superhawk, if you just joined us, we promoted your TikTok account. Superhawk is on other platforms besides TikTok, but make sure you check them out. They're great supporters of Brickworld in our convention and expos. So yeah, the heavy pants mech. You make some changes to that guy?
yeah, so this guy here, our 6-legged guy, this is the heavy pants mech. No, he doesn't have any changes. But of course, as I had mentioned last week, I think um, one thing I always want to emphasize is you don't build for other people, you build for yourself, or at least I do. I don't
Yeah,
build to win awards, I build what I think is cool. At the same time, you do want to inspire people. And
yeah.
if what you're building isn't resonating, or you see something that you think works better, or you like better, or you want to try, you should go for it. And in my case,
Absolutely.
as much as I like kind of the color scheme and the posability of my mechs, I don't think they have enough presence. I think that's the word I would
Hmm.
use.
Okay. What? Yeah.
So
Explain to me what you mean in that they don't have enough presence.
I
Like
think they're easy.
you
They're
want
easy
beefier mech.
to Yeah, they're easy to walk past in a crowded convention hall.
Yeah. So here's my question for that. Why don't you put them in terrain the way you do your castles? Like make a little base for them. You love making bases, even for habitats, even though you're not supposed to. Rule breaker.
Yeah,
Welcome, Supa.
and I do have a base for this one, but even with the base, I think it's just too. It just doesn't have the same presence. That's I guess the word I would use. It's
Can we see
just
it on
easy
the?
to miss it, I think.
Yeah, you want people to pay more attention to your mechs.
Well, I just want people to see them and actually notice them, to be inspired by them. I
Let's.
think it's easy. Maybe part of it is, I have them at the same table as a giant castle. I have
Oh,
them at the same table as a water-cooled Gudamine space base, right?
look who's in the house. It's a couple of brickheads. I imagine this is Sean. Hey, Sean or Brent or whoever you may be joining us. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that a lot. So we're. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the comments. You said you do or don't have the base with you.
I do have the base for this one, but it's in the other room. But
Right.
I think even with the base, it's the presence that I think it's missing. It's just not. It's too easy to walk past compared to other things that I may have displayed.
Well,
And I
hey,
really think supersizing it is what's going to help, or at least that's my perception.
man, I could. You know what? I don't know if that beef is the answer. I'm gonna go ahead and ramble a bit and maybe find some other sponsors or something. You go get that base. I want to see this on this. We
All
have a
right, I'll
conversation.
go grab it.
Go get that base.
All right.
uh, I think I have some suggestions for you. So we talked about Superhawk. We talked about D's Bricks, great sponsors of ours, and in our chat tonight we also have the amazing ACOB, which is a couple of brickheads. If you are not familiar with them, you should check out their live stream on Thursday nights. It is a lot of fun. They have original music even. That's something we're on episode 9 here, and we've got to do something special for episode 10. And I think I need to add a little intro inspired by ACOB to get a little bit more energy going because I mean, once you turn 10, I mean, you're never going to be single digits again. So we got to do something special, and I think adding an intro to kind of hype us up a little bit better than me just going, "Hi, everybody, here we are again." And so look for that next week. We'll see if I haven't oversold myself on the ability to get that done in a week because there's lots going on. Yes, thank you, Supa. Appreciate that. Yeah, like Jesse said, it's all about that bass. So I'll work on that. I'll make sure I get some good bass pumping at the beginning of this. So here we go. All right, Ben. So let's look at this. All right. So you want it to have more presence, and
Yeah.
that looks like an all-terrain mech. I mean, that thing's got joints coming out its ears. and it's greebled all to hell. I mean, it could pretty much go anywhere, and you have it walking down a street.
That's true. Where would you like to see it walking? On an alien planet with pink terrain?
Yes,
Of course.
but at least over some sort of like boulders or some sort of rocky terrain, maybe coming over the side of like a rocky hill or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And now I've got everyone's hopes up. They want to see this intro, so now I got to make one. I don't know if you could hear me from where you were, but next week's our 10th episode.
I heard the promise.
Wow.
I'm
Wow, we're all grown up.
I don't know what to say. I'm okay.
Yeah, it looks like the Brick Orphanage is here. Hey, Brick Orphanage. You got a home here, Brick Orphanage. I like that. I mean, that's fun. I mean, it's just like it doesn't add much presence to it. Like I was wondering. I think we looked at this on the lost tapes on that base too.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think your mech needs to be beefier because it's a sophisticated build as it is. It's fascinating. I mean, I love it. You know, it's sci-fi, so that's all I know how to say about sci-fi stuff. But and you've got the articulation to the point where it actually stands on its own, and that's impressive. And like you should be able to show that off on something besides a street.
Yeah. Well, a deserted street. I mean,
right.
It's slightly apocalyptic-y, right?
Well, and that's the other thing is like if it's interacting with something else or like there's soldiers shooting it on or some sort of alien faction shooting at it on this whatever planet it's on, I'll get some friendly reminders from Supa all week, which I'm sure I will get reminders from them. I imagine this is Lindsay, but Josh, you can of course send me reminders as well. You guys are both very good at that. These again are the people who looked at the schedule and said anything led by Mark Larson at Brickworld is they were taking over for me. They just walked in and did it. And they did amazing. They did the Duplo Icebreaker and they did the Mad Libs build, Mad Libs challenge, which was people got a pile of bricks and a random verb and random noun and had to build whatever they drew. It was a lot of fun. Some really really creative entries, and hopefully we're going to see some versions of that with our. In our expos, which by the way, Grand Rapids is coming up. So if you're interested in displaying at Grand Rapids, you can go ahead and hit me up on Discord if you join the Discord server, or send an email to contactus@brickworld.com. I may even have a fancy overlay for that. Yep, I sure do. Look, email us here. Let me take my face out of here. Hold on. Contact us at brickworld.com if you're interested in displaying at any of our expos. But Grand Rapids is during coincides with an event called Art Prize, which if you're not familiar with it, look up artprize.org. And if you're interested in that and you're interested in Lego art, you definitely want to come out because you get to do both events in one weekend. But also we're looking for exhibitors for Brickworld Grand Rapids that are more art focused because we'd love to work on some stuff with you, interacting with the public and teaching people about art, or at least seeing a lot more art mocks at Grand Rapids than we normally do at our expos. But we got another comment here from Rage Quit Gaming. He pictures me frantically editing the intro a half hour before the next episode. I mean, that's giving me a little too much credit. It's going to be like 10, 15 minutes before the next episode.
Yeah,
that's kind of how life goes. So I like what you've done here in the meantime, in like wrapping the legs and the telephone wire and giving it more to do. What's your plan for beefing up your mechs?
Well,
right.
Yeah, I think what you've kind of identified one of the struggles I believe I'm going to have with that. One of the things I like about what I've done with these is I don't necessarily only use a single pose. I like to make them dynamic enough so that they can be moved around. And that's always faces its own engineering challenges, making sure the thing can still stand, right?
Yes.
It's always what you have to balance, right?
Rage Quit Gaming has faith in me. Do you,
Ben?
Great.
Yes. I haven't seen it. You do have an artistic streak. Yeah. So
I'm just gonna get something off the Soundstripe or whatever I have a license to. I don't remember what I purchased for the Expo commercials. Because I think if you beef this up, I mean, I have full faith in you that you'd be able to like make everything look intricate and designed well. Just worry that the beef isn't the reason it's not getting recognized. I would say like oh, Joanne Child is here. She's one of our Fort Wayne indie displayers. She also helped us out at an expo we did this year to promote the show. So if you can make the mech look like it was captured mid movement, that would make it stand out more. That's what I'm talking about. Like some sort of interaction with something besides telephone wire. I mean, because right now it is kind of captured mid movement, stuck in those telephone wires. Um, and I think so. Yeah, that's what I interrupted myself. Sorry. I think there's a lot of mechs at Brickworld Chicago.
There's a fair number. It's true, but you know, I think part of it is, and what I noticed when I was looking around the hall, is they're able to achieve more more shapes by
Yeah,
using um, by making them larger. Because of that, they can shape uh, armor and plating and other things more easily than I can at this scale. At this scale
yeah,
or at this size, you know, it's difficult to make the foot have a lot of extra texture. You know, it's
yeah.
very armory, which is fine. But I think that's what I noticed is a lot of those aren't necessarily more detailed than what I've done here, but
Okay,
they do have the ability to create more shapes that are different. And that's sort of where I think I need to go. And that's kind of why I think supersizing
okay.
is going to help.
So it's not
That
just
being said, right? I mean, I think we
okay.
can always we've got plenty of time before this thing is going to be seen in public again to
That
do some experiments,
that is
right?
true.
And you know, it'll be a great thing for the live stream to see. Okay, is you know doing larger, and it doesn't mean I'm going to copy this mech,
Right.
but is going up to a different scale going to have a different type of impact, or is it really just you know the pose or the dynamics or the base
the
that
ba-
needs to change? You know,
all about the base.
all
Um,
about the base.
so just a quick little humble brag. Let's see if this shares correctly. Where am I at? Are you going to show the right screen? Yeah, that. So this is the time at Brickworld Chicago that I was nominated for Best Mech. Look at that thing.
Well,
There
it's certainly big,
once once upon a time, and look at this.
standing
Hawkeye
in a
Lego
box.
Man says it needs Fabulantis, but it was a chicken toed. Wait, I'm sorry. It was a chicken leg split toe walking mech. I was rather proud of it. They had it. It was from a competition on Eurobricks. It had a mailbox in its foot. It had to had to have something random that didn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah. So if you're saying you were inspired by the bigger mechs at Brickworld, and you're
Oh
not
yeah.
just that like you want to get more attention for what you've built, then I'd say go for it.
Well,
Just this one apart because I think it's amazing. I love
it's
the color
it's
schemes. I
both.
love
You
the
know,
storyline.
I did. I was inspired by some of these more intricate shapes, which is what I think
Yeah.
this is missing. But
Okay,
then I also want to be able to,
it's pretty intricate. Like
you know,
you,
well,
you my voice
I'm
go
not
into
going
that
to
higher
ditch.
octave too. It's that
I'm
it's
not going
that
to ditch my style, right?
right,
I
right.
just want it to be more impactful by being able to create some more diversity of shape by
Mm,
using more pieces, and that's going to make it bigger.
yeah, yeah. I mean, then go for it. But yeah, just don't take this one apart. It's pretty awesome. Make something that can fight it.
Yeah, something bigger and meaner,
Yeah, that'll give them both
more
more.
intricate.
Yeah, so I think like one of the things is like people are starting like just on a personal level, people are starting to notice your work more. You were nominated for Brickworld Master in 2022, and I think honestly, there's so many creations on the floor that when it comes to judging, I think most people have an idea of who already builds mechs, and a lot of those tables are just filled with mechs, and like a you have a more varied style. You have spaceships, castles, mechs, uh, you name it. You build in all different styles. So I don't. Maybe people are just missing it because they don't know necessarily that you're a mech builder, or it's just easier because they. I mean, they spend so many. I'm not. This is not knocking the judges at all because they spend so many hours looking at the creations, and Yeah, Hawkeye makes a good point here. Is like they usually work. There's a lot of NPU happening in mechs. They work well with unique, unusual part usage, and I think Ben, that's kind of like the language you work in. You're constantly, not to plug our own show right now, but you constantly think outside the blocks and you come up with new shapes and great part usage in everything that you do.
Well, that's the goal, right? You wanna innovate to the extent you can, and I think there are a few techniques that I've sort of put out there in the castle world that I now see used frequently.
Yeah,
Would it be great if I could do something similar like that in the mech world? And I think there's some new parts. One of the ones in particular is this the joint that's here, which is this new turntable with the double.
yeah,
My fall over here
we looked at that in the lost tapes.
and the lost tapes. Yep,
I wasn't even aware that piece existed. It does look very cool. Back in my mech building days.
this part here.
Yeah.
See, it's a clicky turntable guy that's got the ability to hook in two more of these click hinges. This makes it able to
Dang.
both turn this way and then rotate inside what it's connected to. Sort
Yeah.
of gives it the sort of most of the range of a ball joint, but it's much
Yeah.
stiffer. And I think with the advent of this piece, I might be able to do a mech that's larger but can still be
Oh,
posed and moved.
yeah. That's what I was going to say during the Brickworld when we did our Brickworld recap episode. I really wish I would have seen you get a chance to do in our what's it called, the concept sketch for the Party Boat of the Dead. There was a there was an oarsman. There was an oarsman in a he looked like kind of Grim Reaper-ish. He had like that long like cloak on, and it was
Yep.
supposed to be like mechanized, and it was gonna row the ship. And we didn't see any of those big figures on there that Tim drew into the concept. They switched to the big minifig, so which were
Yep.
very cool. The crystals were gorgeous. There was so much going on the boat. I think they got a little bit lost. But I would love to see you work on that, especially seeing like those types of hinges that they have now. I bet you would have been done a great job with those. Be something cool to see our group do is if we did something that was like scaled something up and did all big mech size figures. I mean, that's really kind of Tim's cup of tea. He loves to build figures at that size. So I can see him encouraging the rest of us to kind of build into something at that scale. But it is what it is, and unfortunately, I did miss that from the sketch. I think you would have done it well. Is my point.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time. I think figure building is probably something I haven't done a lot of that I would like to get into.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know that I would try to replicate exact human look
Right.
for a number of reasons. I think, scale issues and other things come into play, but creatures that don't necessarily exist
Yeah.
or
That
things of that nature might be something that would interest me.
that'd be really fun.
I
And
have a feeling my first issue would be that I would build them too small though.
right.
Right away. I can tell
Yes.
that would be my issue. So
we we've been waiting for weeks for new concept art actually for the for what our collab's going to be for 2024. So at least in the meantime, it gives me time to work on my stuff instead of focusing right back on the collab, which I said I wasn't gonna do as much this year. But I still want to see what the concepts. I love building with that group, regardless of the fact that it causes me not to be able to focus on my own stuff. I'm gonna forget that that's how I feel.
yeah, that's how it goes.
So do you have anything else to show us this week?
This is really it. Wasn't the ideal week for building, but
Right.
soon after I start my supersized mech, we'll have a lot more to discuss.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. If you want to switch your camera and talk about our unofficial sponsors and read any comments that come up, I will switch my camera over and get myself set up to show you what I built. Something new this week. I built a new thing, and it's been a lot of fun.
Ooh.
I'm excited.
Well, our first unofficial sponsor, while Mark does that, of course, is the sponsor of our lives, but not our show. Hopefully someday it's coming. But of course, it's Dot's Homestyle Pretzels.
Yeah.
I know I've seen in the comments some people defending dots, saying it's the greatest thing in the entire world. Anytime someone says dots, I've never heard of them, they are immediately and appropriately lambasted with, hey, get on the dots train because they are sensationally seasoned. They don't give us any money yet, but yet we promote them anyway. I've even seen a YouTube ad, so I know they're present on YouTube. But of course, Dots Homestyle Pretzels, getting all these free plugs, manufactured, of course, in Velva, North Dakota. The pride of North Dakota, Dots Homestyle Pretzels.
Where else do they make?
And this is not the only flavor. They've come out with a few flavors. This flavor I'll mention, if you don't know, they are slightly spicy. They have a little kick to them. It's not bad, but it does give you a little tiny kick in the taste buds right at the end.
Dots are the bomb. Does Rage Quit Gaming?
Yeah, Rage Quit. On top of it, saying dots are the bomb.
Oh, Supa found him. She or he, I'm not sure which one's on. Maybe they're both there. They are now, they're part of the cult. They joined us. One of us.
Yes.
One of us. One of us.
The other, the limited time seasoning. I don't know.
Limited time. It's been out for like 2 years now.
Yeah, who knows? I found several of these. These were difficult to find. They were being sold on eBay for like 4 times their price when they first came out. But we bought several bags, and we've been holding them sealed.
Yeah,
eating them a little at a time.
got to stockpile
the cinnamon
those.
Sugar flavor. They are delicious. They remind me, and I'm sure people still do this now. But when I was a kid, my mom would occasionally make me toast with cinnamon sugar on it.
Yeah,
that's what this tastes like. It's delicious.
Looks like Hawkeye had him at his table. He prefers the honey mustard pretzel flavor, which I haven't tried.
Me neither. Maybe I will, but both the cinnamon sugar and the classic seasoning, near perfection. I don't know how you could improve on those.
Well, this would make life easier, but Hawkeye's suggesting that we have what's it called? Eurobricks join in on Fabulantis and just do that. That would make a lot less work for me, wouldn't it?
That's true. The fewer the collabs, the easier it is. That doesn't necessarily mean the better it is.
True.
Just the easier it is.
All right. Now you've seen this in the Lost Tapes, and not much on it has changed. I've had a bit of a conundrum trying to work on this one again, just because it looks so much like the medieval blacksmith shop. It uses the same color scheme. I was, very proud of myself when it came to using those curved tiles that way, and then everybody does it now. And so I've been working with maybe at least changing the color scheme. Rage Quit Gaming says they're the perfect chaser after taking a shot of Malort. And let's be honest, anything's better than Malort. So whatever's nearby, just grab it and try not to be traumatized by the aftertaste of Malort. But yeah, Dots, especially the original that has like a sensationally seasoned flavor to it, it'll knock out that Malort taste real quick. So I've been building these little palettes to kind of take a look at how do I want these things to look. And when I take this palette, on its own, outside of looking at the creation, I am bored with it anyway. I want this to be elevated Fabuland, like what happened after the 80s, after they moved out of their little Dutch villages. Where did they go? Thank you, Rage. Appreciated my comment there. So I've been building other palettes to kind of see where I want it to go. And I think what I'm going to do is try this palette with this. So that's going to be a lot of rebuilding. So I may still leave this as something, but it's not going to be Rufus's house here. I just been waiting for these parts to come in. I went ahead and used, because I bought so many tiles in different colors, I got them through Bricks and Pieces because it was just easier to do that way. And so it'll be several months before they get here. But as much as people know me as a colorful builder, I'm noticing a lot of my stuff, if you see off to the right, the orchards over there, a lot of my stuff is very bland and neutral. And so I was building different palettes based on the stuff that I got from Bricks and Pieces. And I came up with this. and I thought it should be an alligator or a crocodile's house. And since we had a crocodile on our show last week as our second special guest, we of course we miss our Nicole very much. I'm sure she'll be back on. She had more fun than anybody, I think, with Lego Crimes Crash. All right. We'll do Lego Crimes again. I've been looking for some, so maybe we'll do that once a month or once every other month. But we definitely want to have Nicole back on either way. So I built Victor a little house.
Ooh.
Let me get this. So this is a little bit more than, this is let's say it's a different way of building than I've ever done before and like coming up with a new design. So I've got the entire concept, like he's got to live on a swamp, and so it's got to be kind of, built up like a pagoda house. I do like the color palette with the black and the lime and the purple. But I always forget until I see it in front of me how hard it is to see what you've built out of black. And I should have this in recent memory since we did an all black boat for our collab this year. And that was the funny thing, is just like I haven't done too much of resorting those pieces because it was all a mess in the first place from the flood. And then I was like, I never use black. And then of course the first thing I build after Brickworld, I'm just like, I was digging for 1x1 brick earlier. So as usual, I was really excited about my plan for making the swamp foliage, and I didn't get to it until like a half hour before this episode started. And it's what I wanted to concentrate the most on, but to get the rest of the structure of the house going and kind of show how it's built up on the rock, I had to kind of throw in those the foliage that I do have in there. But yeah, this is I also wanted to get a little bit more fabulandy, which is definitely an adjective. And kind of mimic the old style windows instead of just creating throwing castle in there. It's very Monty Gator like, which is from Five Nights at Freddy's. That's one of those pop culture things I have not caught up with. I know that it's a thing. Monty Gator. I'll have to look it up and see how I can make it look less like something that already exists, because this is his original idea. Victor the mock smashing crocodile who lives in a swamp. So I do, especially looking at it now on camera, I can definitely go a lot deeper with the foliage. It is a swamp. This is actually inspired by you. There's quite a few things I was like, during this, I was like, what would Ben do? When I came up with the color palette, I had the option to put it on a swamp. Do you remember that castle that you built that was on a swamp?
Yep.
And, yeah, God, I love that so much. So initially I'd put like all lime green water in it. Let me change the camera a little bit here to show you kind of what I've done. But I think I've said enough about what I've done. So
some nice lime green in there.
Yeah.
It's a good highlight color. One thing I immediately noticed, and of course I noticed this because why wouldn't I? Given that it's me and you,
Yeah.
it looks like a pair of eyes, that window and that door.
Oh.
And a long crocodile snout.
Parad-
That on top of a crocodile snout.
Pareidolia.
I don't necessarily think that that's bad though, because it's kind of suggesting to you that the crocodile lives in the house that reminds you of a crocodile.
Nice.
Right?
What Ben's referring to here is called pareidolia. It's seeing faces in inanimate objects. It's I forget the exact terminology they use when they describe it, but it's like a mental state or a disease. Oh, and Dee's is here now. Look, check it out, everybody. Dee's Bricks is here. We promoted your TikTok earlier. Dee's has been helping us out with a ton of stuff, including Brickworld Grand Rapids. Again, if you're joining us late, we've got a Discord link in the description. If you're a Lego artist, we're definitely interested in having you display at Grand Rapids this year. It's our first time doing a show there, and we're trying to do some special stuff that doesn't exist in either the convention or the expos right now. And we're producing concurrently with Art Prize. We're not working with them, we're just working at the same time. So we'll be in the same city at the same time as Art Prize in Grand Rapids. And even if you're not into specifically Lego art, we'd still love to have you. come check us out there. And Deez, of course, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for all of your support. We'd not be able to be doing this without you. Uh-oh. Rage Quit Gaming wants us to wait a minute, so let's wait a minute. Didn't know how educational this was going to be. I'm sorry, are you learning stuff? Yeah, we've got all sorts of like...
Yeah. I mean, our pareidolia, is that how we say that?
Pareidolia. Yeah, I looked up how to pronounce it. Well, actually, Don Sloboda in the chat spelled it out for us one week, and I missed it. It's pareidolia.
Yeah,
Pareidolia.
that one's the only one that we have a banner for, but there might be
True.
others. Who knows?
Right.
We
We've
should
got
probably
like...
have a couple other banners for, when one or both of us say "ooh," you need an
Right.
"ooh"
Well,
sound effect banner.
we have this that is close where we boo people. We
Or
haven't done
suggest
that for a
that we
while.
use yellow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just automatic. When someone says "make that yellow," they get a boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We could use it for we can boo at people whenever we want because it's right there. I think we have something to let everyone know that there's not actually a spider. Yeah, we've got a few educational-ish things in our... We'll work on more though. If you like learning Lego, we can be learning Lego too.
Yeah, that was the first thing I saw. I do love the offset, different window sizes in there to make up that different shape. It is, more interesting than just having them line up perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know the classic window shape for Fabuland. I'm assuming you're saying there's kind of something similar.
Yeah, darn it, and they're upstairs. I'd love to show you what I'm mimicking there, but I could probably pull it up online. That's probably the easiest way to do it instead of running upstairs to get it real quick because the dog will be like, "Yay!" The dog, by the way, has Giardia, which we don't have a title for, but it's a parasitic intestinal infection.
Oh boy!
She has to be quarantined for 19 days, and she is 14 months old. And so I've been going on a mile run with her twice a day. And I'm tired, and she still wants to play more. Oh, we got a comment here. Hawkeye says that Monty Gator is a Rockstar Gator animatronic. He has a purple, yellow, green, and red. He has a purple, yellow, green, and red. I think you're safe, but your call. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm all right with that. I just, I spend my life putting up Fabuland displays and people ask me if it's Animal Crossing, and I'm like, no. Or people saying, are those actually Lego figures? Are those Mega Blocks? I'm like, oh, yeah, they are. Go away. All right, let's see.
Yeah. What do you think of this of the dark brown color for the decking?
What do you think of it?
I don't dislike it, but it is a little strange next to the bright green and the purple. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and I kind of mixed a couple together because of the roundness that you see. It does also kind of look like this window as well.
Okay, so kind of a combo of the two.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. They're moving into the future.
Yeah, I like your version.
I almost turned off the live stream. I almost hit the wrong button.
That would have been unfortunate.
So,
yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's nice that you went a little different. The rest of the color scheme is...
It's awful, Joellen. It's awful. Sorry. Keep going.
Not your decking, but the poor dog. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't make it black. I don't know if I would do normal or regular reddish brown either.
Yeah, I think I was just looking for more depth, and I wanted it to be dark and swampy. And the staircase, I was planning on doing with dark brown as well.
Okay.
So yeah, Joellen loves Scotland Belleville parts. I actually brought her a bunch that I had picked up at a thrift store. And yeah, she likes to build with unique parts as well. I'm stuck with the Fabuland habit. She's got the Belleville and Scala, which is probably even harder to find parts for that. Hawk likes the colors. Thank you very much. Let me show you what else I'm doing, what I'm planning on, because obviously these vines have to go
somewhere. Yeah.
They're going to be something. I don't know what to do for the railing yet. I want the vines to go around the railings as well. I don't want it to necessarily look dilapidated, but this is probably the most cartoony thing I've ever built. and I want it to look a little bit more cartoony. So I'm thinking of redoing these round columns, that timber there, and have something that looks a little bit more bendy, or something that I can make look like it's deteriorated a little bit. I had the parts to do it, but I didn't have enough to make the walls actually rounded, like they bowed out, but it looked like a caterpillar. And so, right, I thought about like just rounding just the bottom, then it kind of looked more like a boat. And I was like, fine, I'll make it straight. But
What about instead of making it convex, you make it concave?
ooh, ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I got an ooh, and I don't have a placard for it, so just thought I'd call it back. And my face wasn't I wasn't facing the microphone, so I
I think,
re-oohed. So I don't know if it sounded I don't know if it sounded sincere, but it
yeah,
was. Yeah,
I
it's just
think
the idea. Ooh.
that would. I think one of the things that does is then it gives you the opportunity to make sort of an oversized roof, which I think is probably
Yeah,
more cartoony. If that's sort of the vibe that this one's going to have,
and that's the color I want to do for the roof. That lavender
the
color.
lavender.
Yeah, I've got the like roof tiles for it, not like the traditional uh, um, like roof slopes, but I have like the 1 by 1 quarter round tile. I'm gonna make some little scallop roof pieces, but I'd like a lot of them to be broken and maybe throw some different colors in there.
Yep.
Um, so here's the plan, and I foolishly thought I was gonna be able to get this done this morning, but I ended up just finishing the front facade. Again, I don't normally build like this, and I made a little bit of a mistake in the door arch, so I'm gonna have to take half of this down anyway, and I want to lay out the entire actual build first before I do anything else, because I think Ben well enough that like I can't help but build big. Like this was supposed to just be like this big, and then I was like, no, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and so I added a base plate back here. It's also probably about 4 or 5. I at one point was going to do a 1 by timber stud down the center, and then I was just like, screw it, just make it easier for yourself and make it all even. So that ended up being double. But look, the plan is because it's already built up on rock, and the rock is going to be surrounding the swamp. It's going to be on the other side of the waterfall that I built. Um, this area I'm going to build up into the house, like he built the house directly into the rock,
Okay.
and then I want there to be a stone fireplace, like he carved a fireplace into the rock structure that was there, and then built the house around it. And I'm excited about that, and I'm disappointed I didn't get a chance to play with it yet. But um, plenty to do, plenty of time.
Um, Based on last week, I do
Yeah.
want to ask: is this um, particular character a bit shady?
I
Is he,
think
you
so. I hate to
know, belonging in the clink?
yeah, I hate to do that to the poor crocodile because he is always the criminal in all of the police station sets and all the police car sets. Um, and But yeah, I think at least I at first I was telling myself he was just going to be blue collar, so that's why he has a hammer, and he's a carpenter, and like he's very reliable. Everybody really likes him. But I think it'd be more fun to have this like kind of a hideout and get a lot more foliage over it. I put some blacklight reactive, um, transparent plates underneath this non-Lego. By the way, this is the IMAX base plate. So that I can put a black light underneath it, and during World of Lights, it'll like the swamp will glow. Like it's
Ooh.
phosphorus. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So maybe
Um,
maybe it's not his fault. Maybe the evil fabulanders have been dumping toxic chemicals into his
yeah,
swamp.
yeah. Maybe he's getting revenge for them ruining his domicile, the environment there.
It's
Um,
probably why he's such a bright lime green color.
that's got to be it.
Yeah.
So Hawk said he's seen the technique of bending pipe and using 2 by 2 round plates on that pipe for pumps. So okay, that I should probably get some flex tube and try that, because when I first put these columns up, they were doing that just naturally as I was trying to like pressure them. And let me see if I have one out. I had uh, I had some pieces. Here it is. I had some pieces that bent that are this damn piece. Sorry. Come on. There we go. It's so hard to show black anywhere. Anyway, I'm just gonna put it up here.
It's that old underwater
Yeah, like the aqua
piece,
zone.
kind of
So
the
hard to
aqua
see.
zone piece.
Yeah, that. So it's like I was
Not
gonna
round, it's more of a hexagon.
yeah, and I was gonna put it down here to make it look like perhaps there was originally was some sort of tree in the swamp that Victor decided to build his house on. Just damn it, come on. But it doesn't look organic enough to me.
Yeah.
At least that the tree wouldn't have that shape at that point, even if it was a real tree. I would love to make those look more like he built onto some trees, but also they'd have to be they'd had to have grown at stud distance, whatever 16 on center, like this. So I was just kind of like he repurposed the wood. He found some wood floating in the swamp. I'm excited to make more swamp area because it'll be fun for me to play with foliage. It ended up just being the corner of this one. I was going to try to do a single base plate, but as I tell everyone when I used to do a presentation on like how to on how to build an original mock, and I always say don't constrict yourself by base plate size. So as much as I try to be like I'm just going to do one base plate, I always end up telling myself, well, I can justify going bigger because I always say you shouldn't restrict yourself to base plate size. That's just it's an imaginary standard, or it's a real standard, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be there for your creation. Not all your creations are 32 by 32 studs.
Yeah, you should think outside the blocks, Mark.
Look at this. Rage Quit Gaming says that bow tie looks sus, which yeah, I definitely want to get him in a different outfit anyway. I have a really cool alligator somewhere. I just think it's with the Fabuland airship in storage. So all my good Fabuland characters are in storage. I need to get those out of there so I can actually build fun. Build fun houses for cool characters instead of just digging out this old crocodile with the sus bow tie. Make just one a tree. Joellen says, make just one a tree. And I thought about this. Make just one a tree. And he built off that to start. Yeah, that's great. It's a really good idea. Just make the one that's like sticking out into the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
But he did, so he didn't have to like sink any pylons into the soft bed to find the bedrock under the swamp. Yeah, just build on that tree. I like that a lot. It gives me more to play with, a little bit more dynamic story behind just the build itself, even let alone
You
the
do
prime that Victor Lee.
build a black trunk, though. You definitely are going to need some exciting colors for the foliage if there is still some.
Mm-hmm. Like dark turquoise.
Yeah, or magenta.
Ooh, yeah, magenta. I like that. I like that better. I've got like, I did of course my research on like swamp. Oh, I wanted to ask you. What do you think of the cattails?
They're fine. I kind of like that you have a couple different sizes of stems. I think there needs to be more of them if they're going to
Yeah.
sort of be cattails, because that's kind of it. The height's also not quite as varied as maybe it could be.
Yeah, they need more leaves around them too. I ran out of. There's only one. And I put it in the background. They need to be like leafy, swampy. I like the little border, like the lime green border I put under the water, and so I don't want to cover too much of it. So I might have to put some cattails more further out when I'm able to expand the swamp to another base plate, to another module.
Yeah, sort of. I guess the one thing about a cattail you're sort of missing here is that they're normally, they look like corn dogs. The top of them's nice and domed over.
Yes. I couldn't figure out how exactly to do that. That's something I've been struggling with. Like, how do and I don't want them all at the same height, so I can't turn that over and put like I don't know, a 1x1 round is a better dome than what's on there now, where they're just like, they're cups basically is what they are now.
Well, and they do have a piece, but I don't know if it comes in reddish brown, that looks kind of like, it is rounded over and it fits on top of a 1x1 brick.
Everyone is out of Dr. Zevia this week. I was going to put it down, but I forgot I put some weed in there. So this is my last can in the house.
Uh-oh.
I always get nervous when this happens, like they're going to stop making it, because I would die. So I just got like the regular cola variety in the refrigerator. But man, there's somebody in Chicago who like raids all the stores along with me, to get this stuff. And so I'm just like, I don't know if I beat them there or not. I'm always just like, I shake my fist at them when they're out, and I'm just like, damn you others, Dr. Zevia lover. And even Amazon's out. They recently redesigned the can, and so they were out for a while they were like getting rid of all the old stock and whatever. But for it to be out again is really disheartening. I know it's a really first world problem, but it's hard for me to live without Dot's homestyle pretzels, which I'm also out of, and Dr. Zevia 0 calorie pop. Oh, here, let me see. Hawkeye Lego Man asked, uh, "Are the candle? Are there reddish brown candle pieces? They're dark tan. They're definitely dark tan ones. I don't know if there's reddish brown ones. Let's take a look. I'll check. Like I'm doing a live stream. Can't you check for me? Just kidding. So let's see. Yeah, they come in reddish brown now. It looks like they are in the that new downtown set, in the flower pot set, it's in a bunch of sets. It's in Rivendell, organic grocery store. Yeah, there seem to be quite a few of them. Shirley is suggesting I do the plant tree 6x6 hollow stump part 30131.
Yep.
I gotta look.
That's a cool piece.
30131.
I bet you can guess what it looks like.
Oh, that.
Yeah, it looks like a stump, a hollow stump.
Yeah,
you can of course put something inside that hollow stump.
Yeah, that's that piece. Yeah, like Victor could hide in there when the law's after him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be another good hiding spot for him after he smashes somebody's stuff.
Yes, after he smashes Republic Attack stuff, he can go take a little reprieve inside the inside the stump.
All right. Any other feedback for me on this on Victor's swamp hideout?
I'm excited to see more of this. I think
Me too.
Perhaps the one thing that I would note that I like about this is, as much as you want to say, well, Fabuland grew up and now it looks a little different.
Yeah.
Their buildings were extremely colorful.
Very.
And as much as I like the half timber style, I love that style too. I think that in this Fabuland world, they have paint, and
right.
I don't think they're leaving their half timber houses, stony, muddy colors. They're painting them electric green like this.
Yeah.
To fit their personality. So I think this is a good direction. You can still keep the advanced stonework and other things, but adding a pop of color, I think, is a good direction for this.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see to get that roof on there and start playing with that dynamic of the colors together. It looks. I'm over here. Whoops, sorry. I've been thinking about that too with the new Friends set that came out, like the modular looking building where they have like a lot of different color brickwork in it, and I'm just like, since I'm the type of person who would never paint brick, it annoys me when people do. I'm just like, I assume that all my Fabuline characters are cut from the same cloth, that they wouldn't paint the brick. But it might be really cool to see some of my stonework done in like coral. I don't know if I'd go that crazy. I mean, but I got it. Like, I bought a lot of coral tile to definitely make like a more pink looking house.
Purple would be great. That light pink color that they use, that particular set, if nobody's seen it, is kind of like a multi-story apartment building. Not quite as detailed as a modular, but sort of in between. I've seen a decent number of Fabuland sets that sort of go that scale. They also have an art school and a couple other things. I love picking those up on clearance.
Yeah, Friend sets, you mean?
The Friend sets, yeah.
I still have dreams that there are new Fabuland sets on the shelves. Hawkeye asked, pardon me, jeez, too much Dr. Zevia 0 calorie pop, and I burped. Sorry, couldn't help that. Will there be a welcome to Fabuland sign? So, no. I hadn't planned on it anyway. I do want there to be like a city gate. We have the city gardens going, but also the original sketch I did for this is from the harbor side. So actually, I don't know where they would get in from the land, from the landlocked side of Fabuland City, whatever this is. So I've always wanted to do kind of like a village square, sort of like with a gate entrance, and maybe I'd put a welcome to Fabuland sign there. I haven't worked on fonts in a while. I haven't worked on fonts since I worked for Legoland. But like all those friend sets, I mean, I need to do more shopping like that because I don't look for stuff on clearance. I don't look for stuff at all. I just buy off Bricklink, and that's why there's so many parts out there that I don't know what they are. But I like buying the sets. Like that used to be how I was able to like find out what new pieces were coming out and have a good stock of like trying to get the sets in the lines that I appreciated, and Friends is one of them. And then just like having more parts on hand when I want to try new things helps a
Right.
lot. But I mean, just like there really hasn't been room here to do it because of the flood. And I'm very much looking forward to a live stream where we don't say anything about the basement flooding. Won't that be fun?
Yeah. Well, I think we're a ways from that still, but
Yeah,
I
it'll
mean,
be
I
worth
think that's one of the things about how you source parts. If there's parts that you use a lot and you like a lot,
it. Yeah,
buying sets to just get a one specific part is not a good idea. Let's just tell
right,
everybody that right now. It
right.
is not a good idea.
Yeah,
Um, however, buying a set from a theme that you like when it's on clearance
yeah.
does give you the opportunity to expand your collection in terms of pieces.
And like
And you
expand
know,
palette, right?
well, yes, I'm sure
Yeah,
you do this all the time too. When I'm building, I'll say, I need one more of this piece. And then you go to Bricklink and you say, okay, are there any sets that have this one piece
yeah.
where I can get this? And if you happen to have, purchased some sets and some themes that maybe you're not as used to using, you might still have that piece sitting around with a bunch of new colors and a bunch of new pieces you've never seen before.
Yeah, and I used to
So,
do like,
you know,
especially working at Legoland, we got 50% off. Well, they do it that way now, where it's 50% off for employees like forever. But we only had 50% off days. I think our discount was something like 30% normally, and then we had 50% off days a year. And then and so I would just pick up whatever I wanted, especially because it was right there. I mean, I didn't work at Legoland. We were a couple miles away, but it was on the way home, and go in and like buy whatever you wanted for 50% off. Like, we take trips over there. We take breaks during work to go take advantage of that sale. And so there was always stuff where I'm like, oh, I didn't know this part existed, and it'd be in a box somewhere in my house. Now it's like, oh, I didn't know this part existed. How quick can I get it here to even just try something? And like you
right?
can try it in Studio because most like Studio is pretty good at like it's every time I open it, it needs an update, right? So they're pretty good at like keeping the parts library up to date on Studio. But I mean, you're not really seeing it. You know, you kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like and see if it works, at least geometry wise, right? But then
Yeah.
you don't know exactly what it looks like until you have the piece in your hand.
Well, it's like that coral piece, right, that we're using on the Gudamine.
Mm-hmm.
It has a bunch of additional connectors on it. I mean, if you
Yeah,
just looked at it and just thought, oh, this is a one use type of piece. No, it's got a bunch of posts on it. It's got a bunch
yeah,
of stables on it. It's versatile, and that's the kind of thing you learn from having the piece in hand.
yeah. I did order some more uh, some more parts to contribute to the Gudemine computer. Since I was in there already buying tiles and leaves, and I do love this dark turquoise um, leaf piece. I love the dark turquoise color, by the way. That's the color of the Brickworld bricks for 2024. Is the dark turquoise. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to get a brick badge this year, but these pieces I got
Ooh, yes.
for you. Yeah, so you can add those to the Gudemine computer.
I think,
I'm gonna,
I think those are courtesy of Pocahontas, right? She had those in her Color of the Wind.
oh, is that
Uh,
what it is?
yeah, she's got
Is there a color
a
on the wind
year
one?
100 minifig
Oh,
for Disney
okay.
100, and she has like several colored leaves. I think it's kind of that colors of the wind
Yeah.
song that she sings.
Is that
And
in
so
CMS?
yeah, they've got those beautiful colors on there. I think it's I don't know if they're four leaves or three leaves, but they're four leaves would make sense. But they're quite good. Of course, you can't buy 900 Pocahontas minifigures to get those leaves. Bricks and Pieces is your obvious and good choice. But
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
Let's see. Like for some reason, there was some video I used to watch in the '90s that had that entire song as a preview in the on the VHS tape. So you couldn't like, because I could have fast forwarded, but like usually you just throw it in and wait for the previews to go. I know every word to that song because whatever video that was, I watched it a lot. I don't know. I wonder what that was. Had it
yeah.
been some Disney movie.
Who knows? But yeah, it's actually not a bad song. I'm gonna be honest.
It says
Um,
Joellen says she did, and I don't know what she's referring to.
she did what?
Sorry,
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't either.
But when you first said Colors of the Wind, I was like, I thought, I thought there was like some Lego set out there where it's like her with a bunch of
Oh,
leaves around her,
yeah.
and I'd be like, I'll get that in a heartbeat. I loved it. I'm addicted to buy. Every time I go on Bricks and Pieces, I'm like, what color leaves do they have? You know what they don't have on Bricks and Pieces yet?
Tell me. I need to know.
The Rivendell Fern piece.
Ah,
They need to start making that because I need to buy. I will buy the limit of those pieces. Like that is such a Mark piece, very much a Ben piece as well.
yeah.
They need to
Um,
offer us those pieces.
yeah, it's also in it is starting to come out in more sets. It's also in the speeder bike chase Star
Ah,
Wars set.
I'll have to
Um,
pick that up.
that one's,
All right.
it's still not cheap. It's cheaper than Rivendell. But it's a
Right.
diorama set, and there's
Oh,
some other
yeah.
good tree type pieces in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in there as well. I would not be surprised if that part starts coming out in different colors eventually.
All right. Let's be like ACOB and actually take a look at some of the sets that are coming out. Um, they I've been on other live streams where they do stuff like that. I know we said we weren't going to, but we did this in the Lost tapes too, where we looked at the botanicals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Show
We
Star
talked a lot
Wars.
about that. The dried centerpiece
Yes,
set, which ended up being just as glorious and beautiful as I'd hoped.
I wondered about that. Here, let's take a look at this real quick. So they've got obviously all my Ecamm Live stuff is in front of it. All right, you got obviously the fern pieces in there. Absolutely, that's fantastic. What other tree pieces are you seeing that you're interested in?
They've got the olive green short leaf, the 3x4.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
they also have that tri piece stock leaf in the brighter green color,
yeah.
and just some of the classic. I think they come in both regular and bright green. The
Well,
old tri leaf base piece there too. Like you were just showing the coral and the bright blue one. I think they have them both in regular green and bright green as well. So there's a good number there. They also have that
yeah.
dinosaur tail piece. Yeah, Pocahontas had
Oh,
those leaves. That's what.
in reddish brown. Yeah, so those are going to be in next year's Brickworld exclusive event set for the Let's Go Exploring theme. So I got that and the thicker part too because I
Okay.
I ordered a bunch extra for myself too, of course. Um, so yeah, Hawkeye says these are beautiful ferns. Brick Orphanage says new parts are now delayed 4 months when sets come out. I appreciate that information. It is annoying. And is there like a database of information like this somewhere out there? Like people seem to always know these things. I'm just like, how do you know? Where do you learn this stuff? If I just click the thing, oh, it switches where I put it. Oh, that's so much easier. So Rage Quit Gaming says I'll wait for Lug Bulk 2024 and get a bazillion of those. I know. I was just like, I want one piece. I'm going to spend my entire budget on this. Watch this. This comment's going to come up right where this one is. I don't have to drag it or resize it or anything. Brick Orphan, it says set your alarm. Yeah, I am definitely going to put a calendar event in for 4 months from now for those to be available. Then Joe Ellen says the Fall Centers piece set is awesome for fall foliage bits. That's the one that we were just talking about, Ben. The dried
Yes.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dried centerpiece.
Let's take a look at this set. I just want to see real quick because I like these dark tan shapes that they have in here too. I use those a lot. And this real quick, you might have already said this. The 5x6 leaf in here. This looks like it's dark green, right?
Yeah, I believe it's dark green. Yeah.
I like that color for leaves. How much is this darn thing? $80. I mean, yeah, it's like you said, it's less expensive than Rivendell, and you get a good amount of ferns in it. So maybe I'll pick that up next time I'm at Target.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. If I recall, the price to part ratio on that is not outrageous. You're kind of mixed when it comes to Star Wars.
yeah,
But it's not terrible.
we finished looking at our creations really early, so as long as there's people still watching, we may as well look and see what else is new. Anything else?
Oh
Anything
yeah.
came out recently that you're interested in?
Well, I guess there's a couple things we can mention just on this first page. The
Well,
first
apparently,
one being,
Pickerick now
um,
short option for newest parts first. I did notice that in newest parts and bestseller. So if you look at the newest bestseller parts, you know what good pieces you're going to get a
and
little bit faster. Anyway, Ben, sorry.
if it's 4 months from release, then we're probably thinking that I think the Rivendell set was probably May 1st.
Okay.
So you're probably looking at September-ish.
Uh,
Um, I do want to talk about this one because maybe this is a bit of a controversial take, but can we crack open the Eldorado Fortress up there?
Yeah, let's take a look. I kind of was curious of what you thought about this. My first reaction to this was I feel like it's a waste that they built this entire base. What do they call those? Crummy rampant pit plates. Crap. CRAPP. Crummy rampant pit plate. What's your first take on this?
Yeah, so I think, I like when they've redone classic sets, but they've put a spin on them. This
Yeah.
one feels too close to the original for me.
Okay.
Um, I think there was some opportunities here. For example, why is the dock black?
Right.
Um,
Well,
that's the color it was in the original, but I thought we had kind of moved away from that. Same
yeah.
thing with the crane. Um,
And did they
and
retire the old monkey?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Now they just have
man,
this new one with the static arms.
it's
I
it's
love the old
iconic.
monkey, right?
Me too. I think that's the only correct opinion to have is that the old monkey is better.
Yeah, I think it's true. So to me, it's just kind of like, you know, Castle was the first, Pirates was the first theme I loved when I was a kid with leg calvé perthes. It was a hip disease. Not being able to go out and play with the other kids, but being able to build Lego, Castle and Pirates were the new hotness.
Man, I
And
live in Chicago and I don't get those bestseller parts faster. I mean, the bestseller parts are really slowed down even.
yeah,
Uh,
out of Illinois they come from.
you know,
So I
I'll
have a
drive over
soft
there.
spot in my heart for Pirates, and yet to me, I'm kind of like, this looks too much like the original. There was also
I,
somebody who did a mock of
yeah.
the Eldorado Fortress who built up a base like this. It looks very similar to that as well.
Okay.
It's just a
Interesting.
little disappointing in that way to me.
Well, I have the same sort of nostalgia for the Pirates because it was like, I think maybe I was 11 or 12 when they came out, and it was the first new theme because we lived our entire lives with like Space Castle City, and that was it. It's like to see like a new theme like Pirates. It was super exciting. I mean, obviously we had Fabuland too. Around the time Pirates came out was like the last like the final dying gasps of Fabuland where they changed the eyes and the last wave only had like 3 sets in it. It was very very sad. But what I like about this is this area here. I do like the little sand islands sticking out of the stone. That's a
Yeah,
nice gem.
yeah. I mean, they've made a little bit different here and there, but it's one of those things where if you if you had just a quick flash of the old box and the new box,
Yeah.
I'm not sure you would instantly be like, I know which one I'm getting. They did add the little boat here, and this boat is sort of a close replica to what came out of um, the Imperial Trading Post, the set I never got. I've always regretted. So that boat kind of is a mix from the Imperial Trading Post,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but it's just it's just too close. I guess that's just sort of my feeling on it. Is it's if I was looking at the thumbnail, I'm not sure I would instantly be like, yeah, that's a completely different set. Um, my nostalgia's pulling me hard on this one, but I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, well, what about in clearance?
yeah, it's hard to know if this one will hit clearance, but yeah, it's just a little unfortunate. I think that a lot of the updated techniques are okay. I wish they would have just changed the shape a little or done something with it. I mean the remake of the Galaxy Explorer was fantastic,
Yes, I agree with that.
and
Did you
so
know?
this hurts me a little bit.
Did you know this? The brown monkey from the Pirates theme that was frequently with Captain Redbeard was named Spinoza.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they had to lose a lot of parts in that terrain base. I agree. That's why I'm surprised at the price point. What is this priced at? Cool figures. And I do like the sales on that ship. 214.99. That's an odd price. Two
Yeah.
fourteen ninety nine. I yeah. I wonder if they struggled with where to put this for price point.
Yeah, maybe
Uh,
they were shooting for 200 and they just ran over too high. I don't know.
and perhaps they thought 250 was going to be too much to sell this because it turned out a little odd. I don't know if they would think that about their own uh, product. Anything else you want to discuss here?
Well, the new Disney castle, I don't know that I'll be getting it, but it does have a beautiful sand blue and gold color scheme.
Oh, is that sand
So
blue? Why
that's
is it
sand
gold?
blue. So
That
I
I
do
thought
like it.
the
I think
was
it's
white.
similar to the old one, but it is pretty.
I think we went over this on ACOB actually. They changed it to gold because they changed the actual castle to gold for the 100th anniversary. I think.
Okay.
I think gold is gaudy.
It is. The sand blue though I do like.
I do as well. I have to agree with that. Especially all these curved pieces. I like that they rounded these towers out. Um, what is this at the door? Is that like a new curtain piece or something? See if we get a close up
Um,
somewhere. Wow, there's a lot going on inside. Look at all that. That's pretty.
and the fireworks are kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the fireworks. Definitely like the colors of the new one, though they are similar. Yeah, but they're gold. Like, and that's the other thing is like I don't need more gold pieces. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that we should boo Alex for liking gold. Your opinion is wrong.
Poor
Um,
guy.
oh, they can dance. I
Oh, that's important.
want to see these curtain pieces. Sorry if I'm making anyone seasick flipping through these so fast. Jeez, I hate these lifestyle shots.
Yeah,
We don't get a close
that's
up.
not what my Lego room looks like. That's for sure.
$399.99. That is a lot of sand blue.
Yeah.
I may pick it up on clearance for that, but at least those sand blue parts will be in Pick a Brick. I hope. I'm excited about this. The Ninjago City sets I think are all very cool. I haven't bought any of them just because I stopped buying sets a number of years ago, but I'm always pretty inspired by them. I like this big red curve piece here. Has that
Yep.
been in other sets already?
I think it's been in a few Technic sets, perhaps. It does, I think, have Technic connectors on the ends of it.
That makes sense. There's so much in here that I didn't recognize pieces from. Again, I just haven't been paying enough attention.
Yeah, there are a few parts in here that I was unfamiliar with. So I did pick this setup. We know the designer of this set, right?
Rage quit.
Marcus Rollbuehler.
Oh, he is. He designed this? Okay, that makes a lot of
Yep.
sense.
I think he did the
Yeah.
last one too.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I think the last one was
I'm so
better, but
glad
this
he
one
works with
has
it.
2 base plates,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. It's got the working accessibility wheelchair lift type thing in there, and a couple other cool functions to get a guy in this set in a wheelchair around, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
But yeah,
I didn't realize that. That's really smart. I like that. I like the attention accessibility. I love this area here too. I mean, I'm just really jumping around themes here. You know what, Ben? I think we must know Rage Quit in real life because he seems to know something about me. But he is right. I do think that the version of the Disney Castle that was at the Museum of Science and Industry was rather beautiful. I could pull up a picture of it if anybody wants to take a look at that. Do that in a minute. I have to pull up my phone photos, and that'll take me some time. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I think it might be worth it getting it just for the parts.
yeah. And Marcus does a lot, and he I think it's not. You see here in this picture, there's a couple interesting things. They have a couple of interiors that slide out, which I think is a first for the Ninjago City line.
Oh, I see.
I think part of that is because that section you can't really lift off after the sky ride bit is attached.
Gotcha.
So that's a little different. The other thing, of course, that I think he's probably known for on these Ninjago City ones is doing a lot of different ways, a lot of techniques to build roofs. So if you want some interesting ways to learn how to build a roof, this is a good line to investigate.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna need some inspiration when I get to the roof of this swamp hideout because that's always my challenge. Is like, how does the roof go on? And like I absolutely celebrate along with I imagine everybody else. How far we've been able to come in roof techniques and like the pieces that are available to make more interesting and realistic roofs. I always struggle. I'm just like I kind of miss the days where you could just like pile up the freaking slopes and be done. I'm gonna take a look for pictures of this.
You can still do that, and you can still make a convincing roof. But yeah, I think in that Ninjago City line, They've used they've used shovels, they've used the tops
Yeah.
of treasure chests, used a lot of different things to make roofs. I think one of them was built entirely of hatchets. So there's lots of cool ways to do it.
Hatchets, that'd be very interesting. I saw
Yeah.
a lot of people use that the Thor's hammer piece uh, to uh, to make walkways. That's
Yep.
very parts intensive,
Yep.
but it does look cool. I'm thinking about doing like different stonework on the bottoms of buildings instead of just like my brick technique that I've used so many times, and kind of looking into something that's a little bit more like tumbled rock or like flagstone or something like that. Let me see.
The A-frame cabin used the Thor's hammer as stone on the bottom around sort of a porch. So that set as well has gone that route. It does look pretty cool. I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah, give me a second on these pictures and then we'll wrap up. So this is a piece that I did when I worked for Adam Tucker. And it went into the Museum of Science and Industry. Where do I want to send this? Sorry. Just want to make sure I took pictures of it for it to be reinstalled, so I don't have any like really impressive pictures of it. What was that called? Brick by Brick? Blah, 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 blah. I guess I'm at the statute of limitations where I'm just going to say that I built it at this point. Um, so let's go ahead and hit that. And I know, right? And share this. So this was at the Museum of Science Industry. That is Cinderella Castle, as seen in the Brick by Brick exhibit. Hawk said, just going back, he likes the towers on the lower wall on the newer castle. They're much cleaner. I agree with that. They're a lot more round. This is, I mean, looking at this now, I mean, this is a little bit smaller picture for what was actually there. I wonder how this would have gone now with like the new techniques that are available, because I think I did this in like I want to say 2014 or something like that. And this was fun because I built it on my dining room table, actually while one of Matt's friends was dying. So I was designing this at night, and we were spending the day with her. She was in hospice, just to depress everybody. And so then we had to carry this down the stairs, and because it wouldn't go down the back staircase, I had built it on to a big piece of plywood, and screwed the base plates down, and then the entire thing, because it's so snot, the entire thing came unattached from the plywood, and so it started sliding around. So Matt and I had to carry it down the front steps, and then take it to walk it down the alley to where my car was. There's a I took this particular picture because there's hidden Mickeys in here. Oh wait, no, this isn't the hidden Mickey picture. This was just showing they moved this to a new museum, so I was showing them how to install it. Here's a hidden Mickey.
Hidden Mickey.
So, but the concept of this was that it was like this was based off of a sketch. Like the entire castle itself was built off of Imagineers, one of the Imagineers sketches. And so I did it like it was watercolor out to the edge, and so we used all these round pieces to kind of look like it had like that was like the spray out from the ink and the watercolor that had been used to sketch it. Tried to get really close to these banyan trees. Nobody put them back together correctly, so but yeah, the pine trees were really fun to make. I would say Adam insisted on the back being realistic, just in case it was ever in a place where you can see the entire thing. So the entire back looks exactly like the back of the castle as well, even though at this exhibit you couldn't necessarily see it. And so there's a ton of detail on this. I took this picture to show them that they forgot to put the water in this side.
Oops.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, I really like the way this looks white on gray, as opposed to the gold. It was fun making all these curves, all these sorts of pieces. The roofs, I think the roofs are the ones that are like they're Lowell sphere-ish. If you're not aware what a Lowell sphere is, just look up Lowell sphere Lego. It's Lowell. Gives you a good idea how to create some different shapes. And that's definitely the technique that was used here. Adam actually came up with this technique for the roofs. That was done for me when I got it, so I didn't design the entire thing. The towers actually themselves had a concept that I updated, but he came up with the initial technique for that as well. And so, and I believe this tower was actually built from a previous version as well. So I don't ever remember putting that much gold tile in anything. I think he grabbed that. Is that sand red? I don't think so. I think this is just some bad. Um,
I don't see any sand red.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't remember using any sand red on that.
No.
But the this staircase is something I was really proud of. You can't see it, but it's I use this for the snails amphitheater when we did Ready Set Escargot.
Yes.
So this was like this technique here to get all these stairs curved, and it's brick textured on the outside. You can't see it again, but it was like one of those things that Adam wanted to be really true to form. This is actually why I took the project out of his house. Because he wouldn't stop going on about the staircase. I'm like, there's an entire castle I need to get done. So it says, Rage Quit said he never told me this, but Tucker asked me to build this for him. He turned him down, and he's glad he did because I made a masterpiece. Who are you? Who are you? I feel like I should already know. Let's see. Yeah, that turned out nice. Let's see if I hopefully got some pictures. Yeah, so you can see the outside of the staircase has that brick texture going on the entire thing. It's got like the flag. This was quite a feat of design. We got every part of it to match the model. We had like a little ceramic model that we were working off of to do this. We didn't go and like take pictures of it. This was the back. The back was really, really detailed and didn't necessarily need to be, but obviously when they put it in there, it didn't match up the way it was supposed to either. It did great on my dining room table. So yeah, those are the trees. That's a really bad picture. I don't even know why I have it in there. Those are the banyan trees the way they're supposed to be put together.
I see.
Yeah. Is anything else interesting in there? Yeah, here's a close-up of all the work that went into the back. I mean, that's what the entire back portion of it looked like at the end of the other. This is the other end of the tunnel. So this is, and I mean, if you've been to Disney World, it's exactly what it looks like. So I don't know what he means by this, but Rage Quit Gaming says he thinks that you cheat at golf.
I see. I think he cheats at golf, and he's a terrible person who I would never like to talk to ever again.
So now we know who he is. All right. All right, cool. I was like, maybe this is code, and apparently, yes, it is. All right, cool. So you'll have to tell me in the after show who on earth that is, because I'm at a loss. All right, so
I know exactly who you are, Rage Quit Gaming.
This is actually the second time in 2 weeks that I've gone over the Cinderella Castle. I don't know why it's making a resurgence in my Lego life, but here we are. Just turning on a white screen to improve the lighting here on the end of the live stream. So, did I say live stream? I may have. Ben, are you with us next week? Are we gonna look at?
I believe I will be, and I should. My wife, as usual, is traveling.
Miss C.
But I think I'm gonna get at least some mech feet or something done. We'll have some new supersize my mech stuff to discuss for sure.
Excellent, and we'll have some swamp hideout improvements, and as usual, maybe for the 10th episode I'll do some sort of like outro as well, as long as I'm working on an intro. But for now, the only way we have to say goodbye to everybody is there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. So says Bob Ross. Thanks for joining us this week, everybody. See you next week.